On a cold, rain-soaked winter night, a young man worked as a night guard at an abandoned hospital on the edge of the city. A hospital that had been shut down for 20 years after a mysterious incident where an entire staff of doctors and patients vanished in a single night without a trace. His job was simple: sit in the surveillance room until 6 in the morning and make sure no one entered the building. But on his first night, he heard the sound of a wheelchair on the 3rd floor. He checked the cameras, and the blood in his veins ran cold. A wheelchair, moving on its own down the hallway, slowly. Then it stopped in front of room 307. A woman appeared, wearing an old patient gown, her hair covering her face completely. She raised her head toward the camera, and then the feed cut out. A distorted voice crackled through the radio. "Do not open room 307. There was no one else in the building, but curiosity got the better of him. He went up to the 3rd floor. The corridor was dark. The smell of decay filled the air. He reached the room, the door slightly open. Inside, an old bed and a large mirror on the wall. He stepped closer. He saw his reflection, but his reflection wasn't copying him. It was smiling. The guard stepped back, but the reflection raised a finger and pointed behind him. He turned quickly. No one. He looked back at the mirror. His reflection was gone. A whisper, very close. "Finally, I found a new body." The light went out. The next morning, police found the surveillance room empty, but the camera was still running. And on the screen, the guard was sitting in a wheelchair on the 3rd floor, looking directly at the camera, smiling. A police officer whispered, "Stop the recording." The technician replied, "Sir, this isn't a recording. The camera is live." Something appeared behind the guard. A tall woman, her arms longer than normal, moving closer. Step, step. The police rushed to the 3rd floor. The hallway, empty, but room 307 was open. One of them shined a flashlight at the mirror. They saw the entire team reflected, and an extra figure standing among them. A woman in a white gown. But when they turned around, no one was there. A door slammed shut, the lights went out, and the sound of dozens of wheelchairs echoed through the corridor. Anyone who sees their reflection here stays here. When the lights flickered back on for a brief moment, the mirror no longer reflected the room, but a long, dark corridor filled with pale faces. Among them, the guard. He was pounding on the glass from the inside, screaming, "Don't look at it!" The next day, 5 wheelchairs appeared outside the room, and on each chair, a freshly carved name. Years passed, and the hospital disappeared entirely. But something strange began to happen. People saw their reflections, not copying them. Mirrors cracking from the inside, and voices heard every night at 3:07 a.m. "Do not look at the mirror." A university professor decided to test the legend. He sat in front of a mirror, staring at his reflection. At exactly 3:07, his reflection smiled, but he wasn't smiling. Then, a hand emerged from the mirror. A real hand, cold and long. It grabbed him and pulled him inside. Years later, the story became a terrifying warning on the internet. If you sit in front of a mirror at 3:07 a.m. and don't blink for 1 full minute, and you see your reflection smiling at you, never turn around, because the thing standing behind you will no longer be your reflection. We are not guarding the place. We are guarding the door.